I had been babysitting for the Watersons for a long time now, but never for a whole weekend. They wanted to travel to the south for the weekend and wanted me to watch over their kids. I had a lot of study load, but I still wanted to babysit for them, as they always pay a good amount of money, and I really needed money. They had informed me 2 days earlier, so I had time to adjust that in my schedule. I used to be up at night mostly, so instead of watching Netflix, I decided to study. It was hard, as me and my friends usually watch movies together every night while on a Zoom call. But it's fine, as you always have to make sacrifices sometimes. It was just going to be for a couple of days, so I had time to enjoy being there, because the kids are very nice, and they're always busy doing their own thing. I just have to make them food and send them to bed on time. Sometimes I would play with them when they get bored, because I don't let them go out or go with them just to be safe. I always try to take as much care as possible because they trust me with their house and children, and their children are my responsibility. Also, it helps me experience what it's like to be a parent. Anyways, on Friday night, I went to their house, which was in a posh area and a little isolated from the rest of the town. It was a very elegant villa with long glass windows, which I was sure must have cost a fortune. Mrs. Watterson gave me their cell numbers, as well as a landline where I could contact them in case of emergencies. They left, and I got settled in. After dinner, I got the kids to bed. George was 8, and his little sister Janet was 5. They were not very troubling, and soon complied and went to sleep. Since it was still very early for me to go to bed, as I was more of a night owl, I grabbed a book from Mr. Watterson's library and started reading it on the couch. I was halfway through the first page when my cell phone rang. "Hello?" I said after picking it up. There was only silence on the other end. I said hello a few more times, but no answer. So I hung up. I began to read once again. After a few minutes, urgent knocking came from the front door, disturbing me. I looked at the clock. It was around 10 p.m. Who could it be at this hour? I wondered as I walked towards the door. I peeked through the door's peephole. There was nobody standing on the porch. That was really weird. So I opened the door and looked around. "Hello? Someone here?" I called out. No answer. I backed away and shut the door. I was beginning to feel really uneasy about all this. My phone began to ring once again, and I picked it up once more with an exasperated, "Hello!" Nobody replied me. However, I heard ragged breathing on the other end, which was really creepy. I began to freak out as I asked, "Who are you? Stacy, is that you? It's not funny." I thought it was her, my best friend, who loved to pull pranks on people. The breathing pace increased. I began to panic and hung up. I called Stacy, and she answered in a voice like she just woke up. "Quit acting. I know it was you," I accused her. "What are you talking about?" I told her, and she denied calling me. As I was talking to her on the phone, I passed the CCTV monitor and stopped as I checked in on the kids. They were sound asleep. Suddenly, a swish of black swept past the screen, as if someone had just passed in front of the camera. Fear enveloped me as I realized that it couldn't have been the kids, which meant there was someone else in the house. I ran upstairs, calling 911 on my way, and barged into the room. There was no one there besides the kids. I looked at the closet and approached it. Gulping, I opened the doors to see that there was no one inside. The window was open. I heard the wails of sirens as the police came. They searched the house, but found no one there. However, the back door was open, and some of the plants in the kitchen garden had been treaded on. The Wattersons rushed home as soon as they heard, and I was more than happy to go home. This had been the biggest scare of my life, and I am never babysitting anyone's house ever again.